Lisa was a poor girl who married into a rich family by mistake. She now had a $1 billion car and endless money, but she still couldn't win her husband Jack's heart. Jack liked to stay alone in his room every day. He spent his days drinking and going out to have fun as usual. One evening, Grandpa looked through the window and thought Jack was still lazy after marriage. When Jack came back, Grandpa called him into his room. He showed Jack a portrait and told him to draw the same one before morning. Jack didn't want to do it, but Grandpa was strict, so he had no choice. Grandpa watched him leave with a smile, thinking it was time Jack learned a lesson. Back in his room, Jack tried to copy the portrait. Zoe stood beside him, laughing and teasing him that he couldn't get it right. Jack kept trying because no one dared disobey Grandpa. Lisa laughed too and lay down on the couch, leaving Jack to struggle. He wasted 81 sheets of paper before he finally finished. By dawn, with dark circles under his eyes and his body exhausted, Jack handed the portrait to Grandpa. Grandpa was pleased and announced at breakfast that Jack would become the student of the famous, armless master, a top jewelry designer with a bad temper. Jack's mother felt pity, but Grandpa was firm. Jack complained with a sour face. While Annie nearly laughed, Jack returned to his room, picked up his phone, and got ready to leave for the master's studio. Lisa, seeing the big soft bed, happily jumped on it for the first time since her marriage. At the studio, Jack introduced himself, but the master told him to sweep the floor. Jack thought he could rest after finishing, but the master told him to clean the hallway too. The master kept watching him carefully to make sure he wasn't lazy. Meanwhile, Jack's mother didn't want Lisa to feel lonely, so she took her shopping. They visited many designer stores while the bodyguards quietly suffered. Later, they sat in a restaurant to eat, but during the meal, they received a call from the eldest son with bad news. When they rushed home, the dinner table was filled with sadness. Grandpa asked what happened, and the eldest daughter-in-law explained that the doctors said she could not have children. Grandpa's heart sank. He sighed and said that health was more important than anything else. Back in her room, Annie looked at her phone and saw a message from her ex-boyfriend. She learned that her father had been beating her sister every day since she left home. Annie tried to call her sister but couldn't reach her. Jack got upset and complained that Annie was calling her sister again. Annie shouted back at him angrily. Jack accused her of ruining her own life and causing problems for the family. Annie broke down and screamed, "If it wasn't for you, my sister wouldn't be like this. She wouldn't have given up on her dreams. I wouldn't have been beat by my father for refusing to marry. And now my sister is still being beaten every day." Suddenly, Jack leaned forward and kissed her. Annie froze in shock. Her anger disappeared in that moment, replaced by silence. The kiss made the room feel strange and heavy. The air filled with awkwardness neither of them expected.